You know when a country like Russia gets really dangerous? Well, when it has very little left to lose. In the 20th century, the Soviet Union had industrialized significantly. Then, after the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, Russia has gone through extensive deindustrialization. So today, you have a Russian economy that is highly dependent on energy exports and defense exports. If anyone tries to take away these two advantages from Moscow, it retaliates and retaliates hard. China is learning this the hard way, even as it got forced to send an emergency SOS to Iran. Hi and welcome. You are watching TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I am your host Sanbir, and in this video I will explain how, trapped by Russia, China sends an emergency SOS to Iran. Let's begin. China has sent an emergency SOS to Iran. Beijing wants energy supplies from Iran as quickly as possible and has activated its 25-year cooperation agreement with Iran. Beijing and Tehran have reportedly started implementing a strategic agreement, strengthening economic and political cooperation between the two countries. The Chinese Foreign Ministry said that Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi and his Iranian counterpart Hossein Amir Abdullahian announced the start of the partnership's implementation on Friday in East China's Wuxi. The highly secretive deal was signed by the two countries last year. After Biden's election, China had rushed to sign a 25-year cooperation agreement with Iran, under which it will spend $400 billion in the Shiite country as a consideration for a secure supply of oil to boost China's growing economy. China wants to make huge investments in Iranian gas, oil, and petrochemical products. With this, China wants to revive its energy trade with Iran. Beijing used to be one of the biggest importers of Iranian oil before former US President Donald Trump scrapped the Iran nuclear deal and reimposed sanctions on the Shiite country in 2018. China has tried to push for the revival of the nuclear deal after Biden came to power, but things haven't been moving on that front. So, China has decided to go ahead with Tehran anyway. Why is China in a hurry to buy Iranian oil? China is ready to purchase oil from Iran despite American sanctions on the Shiite nation. But why is China so desperate? Why can't it wait for some more time? Well, this is where Russia comes into the picture. Till now, China got its energy supplies from Russia and Central Asia. China didn't have an energy crisis of sorts, but Chinese President Xi Jinping tried to play smart. Presently, Russia supplies 200,000 barrels of oil per day to China in accordance with a 10-year supply deal that is due to expire in 2024. China, however, wants to cut crude oil imports from Russia starting 2024. Beijing argues that Russian crude oil coming to Western China via Kazakhstan is no longer needed. Actually, most of China's ethnic minorities and undeveloped regions are located in its western territory. On the other hand, the Han Chinese majority is predominantly located in prosperous eastern China. This is why eastern China occupies 94% of the Chinese population in 43% of its territory. So, most of the fuel is consumed in eastern China, and this is why it is saying that it doesn't want too much of Russian crude oil. Essentially, China was trying to pull a fast one over Moscow. On one hand, it was avoiding Russian crude oil coming via Kazakhstan, and on the other hand, it kept expanding its footprint in the Kazakh oil and gas industry in a bid to source its energy supplies from the oil-rich Central Asian country and dump Russian supplies. But suddenly, Kazakhstan found itself in the middle of unrest over escalating fuel prices. And the next thing you know, Russia-led CSTO troops landed in the country to help Kazakhstan. This effectively means that China has got trapped now. Moscow can control Kazakh oil supplies to Beijing. China is now dependent on Russian oil and industry, and Moscow can pull the plug on energy supply to China if and when it wants. China was therefore compelled to stick its neck out and contact Iran in a hurry.